I think one of the cool things about being able to break narcissism down into its component parts and being able to identify antagonism at the core of it is if you're trying to kind of combat your own narcissism, or maybe you're trying to help a partner combat theirs. Let's say they're a grandiose narcissist, they're extroverted and they're antagonistic. You don't have to go after the extroverted part of them. That can be a very positive thing. It's just you can kind of narrow your focus on the antagonistic piece and maybe try to, spot treat that.
Exactly. I like the spot treat. I've never used that. I might steal that. But yeah, it's you break it into parts. So with narcissism, the problem is often the love. It's like you just don't have the capacity for love. People are like, yeah, he's kind of full of himself and he's a little bit self-centered, takes a bunch of selfies, but that's not so bad. I don't mind that. He's a jerk, and he's kind of mean. And so if he works on being nicer, more loving, loving kindness meditations, working with puppies, whatever you do, you can kind of open up that part of yourself and become a better person without having to worry about, we got to make Keith realize he's just kind of a loser like the rest of us. Yeah, that'll come on its own. When you open up to other people, that ego part kind of goes away a little on its own. So I'm a big believer in focus on love, focus on connection, focus on relating to people. In the Buddhist traditions, like focus on your mom first. Okay, you love your mom. Okay, now expand from your mom, maybe your dad. It's kind of a dick, but you got past that, different time. Love your dad, and then you kind of build a bigger circle. So there's ways people can do this.
Mm-hmm. I find one of the best ways to do it is just go out in nature, because you just go out there and you start hiking. And you start climbing and you keep going. And next thing you know, you're out in the mountain for a couple hours and you're like, I'm walking on this thing that's been around for like millions of years before I was. It's going to be around way longer than I'm going to be around. And I'm just trying to get to the peak of this thing. And when you get to the peak and you get that view of the landscape, that kind of helps recalibrate things.
I agree. And that is in the research, like Paul Piff he's a bit, where is he now? Oh, he's at Irvine. Sorry, I know he's a California guy, but did this stuff at Berkeley, looking at awe. So how does the experience of awe reduce your ego? And they've done this in different ways in the research. So I remember the Berkeley one because there's one out and look at a forest, kind of being like a forest of trees. I don't think it was redwoods, but sort of something like a redwood forest would do it. And another study, they put people in a VR system and showed them like the universe, like with the dot with the earth. It's like you are here.
Oh, yeah.
Those big map, and you're like, oh my
right.
God, I'm so insignificant. I'm just nothing. So sometimes that sense of awe can really reduce the ego. There's actually a psychedelic paper on this that came out, but it was more self-report. So people have these psychedelic experiences that were awe-based, and that would be ego reducing. But our own work, I'm not so sure about it. I worry. I don't know if psychedelics are really the cure for narcissism. I think they might be better for neuroticism more than that. But it probably depends, and I don't really know.